I'll share it with you. I'll make sure. Hey, welcome, audience. This is life's milkshake moment. Why is this important? Because life is like a milkshake. Choose your ingredients wisely. As a health coach and holistic nutritionist for 40 years, I can tell you that it really is the ingredients you put in every single day. Your habits become your destiny. And so, yes, the habits of successful people are clear. And I just want to invite you to just sit back and be a part of life's milkshake moment with none other than the Marcus Black. Goodness gracious, he's a celebrity in the making. I just am so grateful that you are a part of our Tuesday. Any day is a Marcus Black moment and a milkshake moment. Welcome, Marcus.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm so excited to be here with you and everybody else. It's so good to see your face in the place.
Oh, and facing the place and the energy extraordinary. You're going to feel it. Audience, he makes me look low key, but just so that you know a little bit about Marcus, because it's a truly amazing former pastor. Now he's an urban missionary. He is a man with a plan and a man with a mission, because only Marcus has a plan and a mission, because he's the man and he's guided to his true north. He's a life coach, absolutely traveling speaker. He has done like weekends where those of us are having one gig. Oh, Marcus is like a multiple keynote speaker, whatever. But it's amazing. He has a message of love and hope. And audience, what I feel about hope being healing, opportunity, positivity, empowerment. That is Marcus Black. I share that with you. But tens of thousands of people, and I know with all of this that we have on the internet, all of this that we have everywhere, it will be hundreds of thousands of people in the next few months, because that is what we know. Marcus Black, just like we are in person with these events, Marcus Black is back. So thank you for being here. And Marcus, just share a little bit with our audience. And thank you for I appreciate you. I am humbled by the fact that you will spend the time with me on life's milkshake moment today, Marcus.
I love it. I love it.
Tell us a little bit about you, please.
I will. I'm so honored that you would have me. And I'm honored to be here with the community. What up, family? So if energy is not your thing, I might not be the one for you, but that's just, I don't know any way to communicate. And that just comes from a real place. It resonates deep in my soul, because it took a lot of years to fight to get to where I am now. It took a lot of years of combing through the mud. So to know about me, you got to go back to my roots. And I was born in Memphis, Tennessee, and raised in Mississippi. So that deep, rich culture of Southern hospitality, hardworking people, that's what I come from. But just like everybody else's life and everybody else's journey, it was not a journey of perfection. I mean, there were difficulties along the way. And my family, as they tried to navigate life in the poorest state in the union, trying to fight to provide a life for us, a lot of times we didn't have. A lot of times, and here's the thing, I'm not foolish enough to think, even though we didn't have, but there's always people who were on the street. At least we had a roof, right? But going back to that and going back to struggling and trying to figure out who I am, and then my parents trying to figure out who they were, they're fighting to figure out life. And that's a message for somebody right now already, because you're fighting to figure out what this is all about. You're fighting to figure out what to do with the pain and the trauma you've experienced, and you don't know what to do with it. And then you feel bad, like something's wrong with me, because everybody else is smiling and shining, but they're smiling and shining in front of the camera, but dying behind the scenes. Don't let that fool you, what you see. So we ain't even got into it yet, so I remember I started struggling as a small child with crippling anxiety. Started eating me. I mean, tearing me up, just taking my life away. And that I catered my life to that for many years. I stopped living. I was the safest person. I was deathly afraid of dying, and just trying to struggle to find an existence, struggling to find a voice, struggling to find purpose and meaning in all of the pain and trauma, and people telling me what I can't do, and people telling me I'm not good enough, and people telling me I'm stupid and not excelling in school, all the things. Anyway.
The not.
Exactly. So that's what the foundation of where I come from. And I know you have some more questions, so I don't want to jump the cart before the horse. So I'll wait and let you lead us there.
Oh yeah, but it's a great vehicle that you set us up for. Yes, Marcus Black, Mississippi. Tell you, because you That's what that t-shirt says, because you can. You can. The no, just if you turn it around, ladies and gentlemen, the word is a ton. Take it off the back. We have a ton of baggage. Just take it off. Take it off, because you can. And you had what I'm going to call, thanks to what we know in Hungry to Speak, and we'll be getting there. We'll go in there, but because you can, and because you said not is not going to define me, I'm taking this town off of my back. I know which to leave at the airport and which to take on, carry on. And here you are carrying on to that ignite moment at 18 where you almost lost your life.
Yep.
Please share.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't want to put the cart before the horse. So I told you all of this, struggling to figure it out, struggling. I often ask why, because there were times where we didn't have food, or there were times where we didn't have electricity. You know, that's a normal struggle for people, and there's nothing to be embarrassed about. Maybe you've been there. It's life. It's how it works. And I remember thinking, like, man, why do I have to go through this? Why do I have to be haunted by this recurring nightmare, that's anxiety, that's creeping up and taking my life and my soul away from me? Why? And then at age 18, there was an experience that I'll never forget. It was what I like to consider now my wake-up call, where a few friends of mine on a routine evening were just literally driving, winding our business, and I'm dozing off. And I remember hearing the loudest explosion that you could imagine, a boom, and then a car flying off the highway, 75 miles per hour. And here we are taking down trees. I mean, I'm counting 1, 2, 3 big trees we are knocking over, glass flying, slapping me in the face, trees smacking me in the face, my head slinging back and forth before, pow, we hit a massive tree, the car accordions. We're scrunched like sardines. And it's in that moment that the revelation hit me. And that's it. That's the end. Your worst nightmares come to pass. The very source of your anxiety, the fear of death and dying, you are now about to die. But the saddest part is you are about to die without having ever lived. And that was heartbreaking. And I sat in that moment afraid to even open my eyes at what I was going to see. But spoiler alert, you see the smile on my face, and that means I did not die. But that prompted me on this journey to figure out, what does it mean? So I started asking that same question again. Well, why me? Why did that happen? Why did I have to go through that pain? All of this stuff. Why? And we all do that sometimes. And we throw pity parties and we wonder, why me? But the real question is, why not me? Because what you don't realize is that there is no strength apart from struggle. Strength literally is built through struggle, through pain. As a health coach, you know this. When you build and you work out, you just tearing your muscles so that they rebuild stronger. So when you get torn down, when things happen, it's not meant to break you. It's so that you can form your foundation more solidified in who you are and what you know you're supposed to do. And so that's what happened in that moment. And it was a wake-up call that, look, I don't have time to ask why, what? What is it for? What did all of that happen for? What am I supposed to do with it? Because somebody is sitting in the very seat that I sat in, and they don't see a way out. Mm-hmm. They don't see a path forward. They don't see hope. They don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And it's my responsibility to take what I've learned and give it to them. Because here's the thing. I feel like there's a bunch of people out here, AMC, and I've been saying that a lot lately. What is AMC? And Walking Dead. And I don't want you to be out here walking dead, because there's more inside of you. There's more. And so that was a literal wake-up call for me that I don't have time to waste. Life is not promised. It's fragile, and at any moment could be your last.
Like that.
And you got to seize the day.
Seize the day 24/7, without a doubt, every minute, every second. You know my story, Marcus. I, too, found myself in a halo, face down, paralyzed from the shoulders on down. I thought that was it. That was it. Is that all that life had? But, ladies and gentlemen, through the struggle, beautifully said, just absolutely eloquent. Through the struggle is strength. Through the struggle is strength for success. What does that mean to you? That is life's milkshake moment. You chose those ingredients after that incident to absolutely choose it, so that it was a wise moment every single day. And here you go from this, Marcus, you find your ministry. I always say that we all have a calling, but just a little bit of that whipped cream on the milkshake belongs to a minister, because you were called and you have been equipped. And being a former minister, now turning this into an urban ministry, into a life coach. My goodness gracious. Tell us about this calling into the ministry, Marcus.
Yeah, so here's the thing that happened. I had a promise that I made to God. I said, look, I don't know why I'm here. One of my very best friends rocked my whole town, died not 2 years before my accident, 15 years old, never get to experience life. And I could not reconcile why he's not here and why I am. But that was a question that's not up to me to discern or determine. So I'm on the saying, okay, guys, as long as you kept me here, it's for a reason and a purpose. So my vow to you is that as long as I'm here, I feel like I'm on borrowed time. So I promise to give it back. I'm going to give it back through serving. I'm going to give it back through packaging what I've been through and helping other people see the path forward, finding hope, finding love, finding life. And so that's what I started doing in every avenue. At first, I was in the corporate world, but that felt empty. And to some people, that's your mission field. But for me, it wasn't. And I was like trapped, and I felt like I was in prison before the opportunity came. And I got hired on at a mega church, which was crazy. I did go to Christian school, but it was like I wasn't qualified. I had no like credentials at the time. I would later go on to be ordained. But I asked them the day they hired me, I don't understand. Like, of course, my heart was elated, but why? Why would you take a chance on me when I don't have credentials? And they said, I'll never forget this. They say you have the only credentials you need, which is a heart for God and his people. I was like, that's all I need to know.
Okay, we're done with this podcast.
So that was amazing. And it was a beautiful experience. I learned so much. My tools were sharpened. A lot of what you know me for today, I ran from a stage. I ran from a camera. I didn't want to talk in front of people. They literally developed the gift. They sharpened it. It was like sometimes being put through the ringer, and it was tough, but it was needed, because I know now that was preparation, because God knew there was somewhere he needed to take me that I had to be ready for. And so that was preparing ground. It was great. I was serving people. I was touching people. It was a big scale, big church doing great things. And I remember the moment it hit me that what if this isn't it? And I was like, that's crazy. Stop. I don't want to hear that. Like, what if this is not it? And then I started feeling like it wasn't, but I started convincing myself that's not true. What do you mean this isn't it? And basically what happened was I had the thought that, no matter how beautiful of a service we have, no matter how much we love and care for the thousands of people coming within these four walls, there's a lot of people that have been hurt. There's a lot of people that's been abused, mistreated, even by the very people they're supposed to be cared for. And they've given up on God, and they ain't never coming back. I don't care what we do.
It's outside those walls. It's outside those walls. Woo!
So it was, if they ain't coming, who's going to go? And because they still need hope. They still need love. They still need life. And I felt, that's what I felt. But then I was like, no, I can't do that. That's too big. What do you mean? And eventually I prayed and I fasted over, and I remember having a conversation that I'm supposed to transition to something different. And I'm supposed to build something that doesn't exist, a platform to give people life. That's what this means. Live in love. That's my brand. Vitalize. I built a community. Oop, there it is. And nice. That was built on the foundation of teaching godly principles without quoting scripture, just to reach all people, just to build trust and rapport, to uplift, edify, build, inspire, and ignite fire in people's souls so they could live again.
Live again. Live again.
That's it.
Live again. If it takes you down, live again. If it takes you down, live again. Bigger breadbasket. Even though I don't believe a lot in carbohydrates, but it's a bigger breadbasket. I'm telling you, Marcus, I knew just when we had that first conversation. And yes, I'm going to get into Hungry to Speak just for a minute, but this is what I know. Some people come in your life for a reason, a season, and a lifetime. But when they come in, we had a 90-second conversation. I reached out to you. You came back. I had a question on the platform Clubhouse. If you want to know that Marcus Black is a beast, he's got 19,000 followers like that. I said, Marcus, I always want to know. It's not about me doing 60 hours a week in health coaching and my practice and whatever. I want to know what you're doing. Where are you at? Want to know. I'm coachable. picked up, and you just poured into me. So that's what, ladies and gentlemen, if you see Marcus Black in this platform, you say, wow, yes, he speaks, he coaches, he's the full meal deal, the whole milkshake moment all wrapped up into one. That's for sure. And this is what you do because, like I said before, you were called for this. You were equipped. Hungry to Speak comes along. The coaching that we've met each other in collaboratively with the Les Brown. Okay. And you can go to hungrytospeak.com. You can be part of us. Oh yeah. But you can be part of this tribe if you want, but only a few, because some are called, but few are really chosen to move. And you've been chosen to be in this amazing family and this amazing coaching. So tell me about, because I don't know, and tell everyone out there, what has your experience been with being with JL, as we call him, John Leslie Brown, the man who did not fall as an apple from the tree, and the Les Brown, the real deal, Les Brown. What has your experience been, Marcus?
Man, it's hard to quantify into words. It's been so remarkable. It's like a dream, right? Because every kid has that dream in their heart. And I have a story and I have a testimony, and I want to believe that it can reach and validate and inspire and touch people. But you still have those doubts in your head. Like, who am I to think that I could do this at this scale? We all have that. Nobody's exempt. And so to have John Leslie and Mr. Les Brown, two of the greatest orators in the world, and you can take it back, like to be able to see the gift and say, I see you, I hear you, I love you, and I validate you have something and the world needs your voice. I'm like just boo-hooing. I remember I'm talking to Mr. Brown on the phone and he's telling me like, you have a special gift and I can't wait to mold you and work with you. And I'm just like, like, because I have all the years of the words and the lies that were told to me of what you can't do and you're not being good enough. So to have somebody who's literally one of the world's greatest say that alone just did something to my heart. And in the community, like John Leslie has been so intentional with putting together a community of some of the greatest assassins. I mean, it's some bad speakers in this group of people who are so gifted and who are so talented and who are so teachable and who are so supportive and so loving. And you don't get community like that.
No.
And we get to be a part. I get to meet people like you and just build rapport and relationships as we all seek to serve and inspire the world.
Serve, inspire, and do it with the world. I believe that was an ignite moment, don't you think? The knots, maybe Mr. Brown just had a little bit of weightlifting in here. He took that ton away and it's gone. It is gone. I know when you said why, the what, to me, Les Brown, even at 67, John Leslie Brown, they've given me the who. Who are you? Just that who are you moment. Needless to say, their soul. I was thinking about when I was reading your little bio at the end, and I'm going, oh my goodness, there's like meat, potatoes, lasagna, fried fish, and everything else in there, for real. But I just want to read this to our audience. This is, not only does Marcus want to live life to the fullest. Oh, I think we see that. But he also wants to give wisdom. Oh yeah. Love, life, and energy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is like, I teach level 9 energy, because if you're 10, you just implode. You're 9.9. It's all good. To all those you come in contact, because we're all on this journey. Life is a journey. What you do with it, it makes all the difference in the world. You are so humble. I know you're hungry. If any of you saw what I put on Instagram, I said hungry for greatness. Well, I know you're going to stay hungry, but you got greatness. I can see it right now. It's like, okay, it's all that full meal deal, the full meal happy deal. But you are so many people's hero. I know you went in and just tore Colorado up. For real, for real, for real. So tell our audience, if they want to get in touch with you, where do they find you, please?
Absolutely. First of all, thank you, man. My heart is full you know, being able to have life-giving conversations that matter, milkshake moments. I hope you guys that are listening to this don't take it for granted. I don't think you do. But don't let these be words in and out of your ears. Let them pierce your heart and your soul and fuel the fire that is inside of you that propels you into your greatness. So I wanted to drop you with that. But if you want to find me and you want to keep up with my crazy adventures, I'm out to be everywhere. I'm actually co-planning a conference with my business partner right now. We're setting up shop in Dallas, Texas, and we're going to explode the weekend and paint the town with love and life and hope and just deliverance and breakthrough. And so you want to keep up with everything I'm doing, you can find me at mblackspeaks. Instagram is the best way to get in touch with me. I'm also at mblackspeaks on Clubhouse, now on Spotify, social audio app, all the social medias at mblackspeaks, or you can find some resources and other things at mblackspeaks.com.
I just put it in the chat bar, and you know, you can see this replay, and it will be all over social media, all over all 5 options here on YouTube, on Instagram. I'll download again after we're done. Marcus, you'll be able to go ahead. I will tag you and share it on your profile because this needs to be shared. The boy who thought that, man, not turned into a can man.
I love it.
That is just all, it just dropped in my spirit. That is you. That is you. That is you. Because we all have these gifts and abilities. But when you see this and you know that he is being coached by one of the best, along with myself, we have these certain gifts and talents and abilities. We just want to share it with the hungry to speak, not only our family, but the hungry to speak world. Just like I'm rushing the 4th of July weekend just a little bit, but it was rainy and I had bad hair. What are you going to do when a woman has bad hair? We're just going to be a 2-hat duo, aren't we?
We're going to do it. We're going to do it.
We're going to do it. We're going to do it. So just give us that last bit of wisdom. I know you got one more in there always. Put the cherry on top of this, would you please?
You know I will. So it's crazy because I like to think in terms of like life is always happening. So I'm not going to give you an old story. I was just in Martha's Vineyard with my wife like a week and a half ago. And we were spending time there. I was coming off of Colorado, taking her to invest in her, let her know she's special. I was like, man, this is a cool community, but it's very much like a resort town. It's a tourist town. It's a seasonal town. And so I got into a conversation with the hotel manager, and it was great. She was telling me all about her childhood. She grew up here, and it's very different when you grow up here. I was like, well, tell me about it. She said, yeah, a lot of times it's great in the summer. We work all day and all night, but we get 7 months off. I said, that could get interesting. She said, yeah, it gets a little quiet. Sometimes it gets a little eerie. And then in the dead of winter, it can get a little scary because there's not funds coming in, there's not resources, and there's crazy snowstorms. I said, what does that feel like? She said, she said, even in the dead of winter, life is always just around the corner. And as that downloaded into my heart and my soul, I want to speak that to you because sometimes you are in the dead of a proverbial winter. Sometimes your relationships might seem to be struggling a little bit. You might seem to be struggling with your purpose or trying to figure out what you're here. Maybe you're going through things in relationship. You're going through things in your job. Your business is struggling and you feel like this is the end. The whole world just came off a COVID pandemic. That's like, what are we doing? Business is closing. People dying. People are trapped inside homes, inside their minds and having to deal with the grief and the things that they're facing. But I want you to know that I don't care what the world shows you. Even in the dead of that situation, you can never lose hope because life is always just around the corner. It's around the corner for you. So do not give up. Believe in something greater that's beyond where you are right now and keep pressing, keep pushing, keep moving, keep going, and keep growing, keep living, keep loving because you can.
You can, man, humble. He hustles. He is you tonight. And from the first time I met you, Marcus, are my hero because you give and have given me hope, the hope pusher, and you've given others hope. So remember to go to marcusblackspeaks.com. You'll be seeing us around the horn on Clubhouse. You'll be seeing us with the hungry to speak family because remember, life is like a milkshake. Just choose your ingredients wisely because I'm going to use it, Marcus. You can. Ciao for now.